All right. Good morning, cyber friends. It's me, the man, coming at you again from Walk Studio back in Studio B. And we give God all the praise and honor and give Him all the glory. And we thank Him for life, health, and strength. And we thank Him for each and every one of you, the cyber friends. You know who you are, including the inner circle and all the ones that are participants on the Bible study that I have every Tuesday night on Block Talk Radio at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I thank God for all of you, and I thank you for your participation and your support. As y'all see in my title this morning, um, I said music in the key of life. I I want to start this off by saying that I've had an unusual night. I was, I won't say I was anxious, but I had some things that was on my mind, and I did a lot of early sleeping on yesterday, and I just wasn't real sleepy last night, and I could say that I was pondering. I was pondering in my mind, thinking about different things, and good things. I was, needless to say, I wasn't really, in particular, worried about anything. I was just thinking about how good God has been over the years, and I mean, God is good to all of us, whether we realize it or not. But I was really particularly thinking about myself. Excuse me for being selfish this morning, but at that point, I was thinking about how good God had been to me. Um, over my life, and to brought me as all I am. And I was thinking about in the way of music, and to be honest with you, my brothers and sisters, I wanted to say that I have been infected by music most of my life. I come from you would say a musical family. I got a lot of music in my history and my heritage. My great granddad, I think, if I'm not mistaken, as far as I can go back, because my great grandma, God bless her soul, she's the one that used to tell me about how my great granddad, his name was Lucius Marshall, and they called him Sugar. That was his nickname. And they said that I was told by many people that knew him that he was considered to be one of the best guitar players east of the Mississippi River. Now I don't know about that, but I never did get a chance to hear my great granddad play. Matter of fact, my great granddad died when I was about 3. I was about 3 years old. He died in 1965. And he died in June of 1965. And see, I wouldn't have been but 4 years old until that November. But at any rate, I did hear a lot about my great granddad, and about how he played that guitar and sang. And they used to do, for those of you that is cultured enough to know what a Saturday night supper is, a Saturday night supper used to be the way the black people, they used to have their fun, their big time party. That was their cafe. Back in the day, they didn't have no club that they was could readily go to together to have social functions. So they had what they call it back in the day, back in the country, way back in the wood. They used to have Saturday night suppers. That's what they call them, and that's where they get together. And they did they corn liquor, and they played their jukeboxes if they had one, or whatever. And then in my great granddad's case, he was the entertainment, playing the guitar and had different ones singing. And I can remember, I can remember my great grandma, and she would sit down and have us kids in the yard, and she would tell us about how they used to do back in the day, and she could, and my great grandmother, she could sing. She was, a matter of fact, she said she missed the opportunity to be a blues singer, and she was influenced by the old great like Billie Holiday and Bessie, I believe what she called her name, Bessie Smith. Just to name a couple of them, but she was influenced by all of those early pioneers of blues, the blues and jazz singers like that. And I remember her telling me all this stuff here, and so, but I got to admit to y'all that even though that I was all of my grandma and her siblings, which it was 10 of, it was, matter of fact, I think it was 11 of those kids, if I'm not mistaken, but I do know it was at least 10. All of them played guitar, just like their dad, which was my great granddad. And they were musically inclined. They could sing and they played that guitar, all of them. And I can remember growing up and being around all of that. So I was always around and touched by a lot of music in my life, in my lifetime. And so but in in my early days, I didn't get interested in the music discipline. And to this day, I wished I had. Oh my God, I wished I had. I wished I had got into this here music early in life. Maybe when I was around 3 or 4 years old, I wished I had got into it then. I was a late bloomer. I was in school and everything. I was more into, even though I was in elementary school, we had something called a rhythm band. I was in that and I sang. I was always in a chorus of some type. Even though right now the devil is trying to take my voice, but I was always in some sort of chorus in school and everything, and I was always taking some type of music classes. And I never will forget. One of my first music teachers was Miss O.P. Prather, right there in my hometown in Cuthbert, Georgia. She was also, she was, like I said, she taught the music in the school system. She also taught private lessons, which I never did take private lessons from her. Like I told y'all, I did it in school, but nothing else. I did not pursue it as a discipline. I was more into the physical education. I was in the football and the basketball and stuff. That's what old middleman was into more of that instead of the music. But the reason I said music is the key of life is because, and I'm just sharing a little something with y'all this morning. Like I said, I was a late bloomer, but I think about music and what I did learn from the early days and taking it up until this present time. When I did finally, I graduated from high school, and then I finally took my first piano lesson, which was in 1981, Halloween. Never will forget it. It was October the 31st on a Saturday, 4:30, right there at Andrew College. My first piano teacher her name was Constance Rose, but actually it was Constance Hunt at that time. She later, like I said, she later married, and my professor of music teacher, which was James Rose, she married him, and then she became Constance Rose. But that's in my book. You got to read my book. Hopefully I'm gonna have it out soon. Have it available soon. But at any rate, that's when my musical journey started, to a degree as a discipline, whereas I actually took on an instrument myself. My great grandma wanted me to play the guitar like my great granddad, and I can play a little bit. I'm not much on it because really I won't practice like I should. I always had a problem with the fretboard. That's why I went to the keyboard and the piano, because I had a problem with the fretboard on the guitar because I didn't want to practice. So that's how come, like I said, I got an electric guitar over there in that corner right now. I haven't touched in weeks. I mean, don't whoop me for that. But at any rate, I took up the keyboard and piano, and I loved it. And my piano instructor, Connie, I called her Connie. We all did for short. And she was marvelous. I miss her to this day. And she took me. She started me on my journey playing the piano, and I was amazed that first year I learned so quickly because I learned so fast, and I was playing Lionel Richie tune in my first year playing piano. I was playing Lionel Richie tune. out off the sheet music. I could read a little bit. I'm not much at sight reading, but I can read music. In other words, I can get it. I'm not afraid of your music. You give me a little time with it before I have to play it. I can read the music, but I'm not much on sight reading. But at any rate, I was so outdone by it, and I was so grateful that God allowed me to go, and then I entered college and continued my education in music. And then I got more involved in music theory, the music history, and then I just began to learn a whole lot more and more, and I got deeper and deeper into the discipline of music. And now, mind you, now I wasn't a performance major, but I was a theory. I concentrated in theory and composition, but nevertheless, I did have to play enough functional piano to get by. I had to do recitals just like all the rest of the piano majors, and I did my little share because, like I said, I was a late starter. I didn't play great big concert pieces like some of my counterparts did because they had been in music all their lives, and I had just started in '81. But at any rate, I said here before you to say, yeah, I said music in the key of life is because of the fact that in my vast knowledge of music, I'm glad that I do have a good foundation in music theory, composition. I know about the instruments. I know about all the families of the instrument of the orchestra, from the woodwinds, the brass, percussions, strings. Those are your four families, in other words. And just music in general. And I thank God for when I went on into higher learning and got to my senior college and everything, I met my second piano teacher, which was marvelous, Miss Faye Rao, and that later became Faye Kessler, and my professor or professor, Dr. Stan Pethel, had taught me conducting, arranging, composition, you name it, he taught it. In other words, I always will have great respect for Dr. Stan Pethel. Great guy. And my experience at Berry, singing in the Berry Concert Choir, and because I sang at the Andrew College Coralias, which was a distinguished choir. Matter of fact, they are singing to this day. And but I just want to let y'all know that I wish that more young people would get more interested in the music discipline. A lot of schools they don't even have a music program, and I'm sad to say that I think sometimes that I wished I had went into music education. Sometimes I think that, but then when I think about how some of the students are right now, I think about it again, and I don't want to go back. But at any rate, but I do wish that there was a more music programs in early school, in the early like elementary school on through high school, be more better music programs in these schools. They really need it. I feel that discipline need to be taught. And so, like I said, I'm just sitting here and I'm just happy and thankful to God to be able to be yet among the living, not among the dead, and to be able to do some of the stuff with the, like I said, I don't. I'm in the composition right now. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this here video, to let all my cyber friends know that I'm still moving. I done went through the book now, and I'm got to get it published with somehow, some way. I will find a way to do just that. We gonna get this book available to whoever would not like to read it. I do feel that it's not a well out, drawn out book and everything. I did tell her some things from my life, and it's a compressed version. I mean, very, very compressed. As a matter of fact, I may even go back and do some more things, some more excerpts. I ain't no telling what I might do, but I do know that I got the word music, composition, into, in other words, from this point in my life on, I don't want to throw away this valuable gem that I was given, that I acquired, and by the help of God, and God gave me the grace to do it. In other words, I want to see, can I take it to another level? I believe if I would apply myself a little bit more and go back to the way that I used to be when I first started into this music, I think that I can do some things and maybe help somebody else that'll get to where they want to be in it. That is my prayer. So that is what I just came to say this, Saturday morning early. I got to get out of here and go toward take care of some business and everything, church business and everything. But we will hopefully get into the studio, back out there, Studio A today, and hopefully we'll go ahead on and get this here boat moving toward the sailing across the sea of the musical scales and everything, and get some stuff done by way of composition. In other words, I got my mind set on some things, and feel free, y'all, to contact me. All my cyber friends, feel free to contact me if you got anything that you would like to say to old Mitty Man. Tell old Mitty Man, but Mitty Man will try to help you in any way he can. And so with that being said, Mitty Man gonna go on and sign off now and go on and get things done and get moving. Got stuff to do and everything. So y'all just be blessed on this wonderful Saturday. Stay safe out there in the pandemic. God knows I'll be glad when this thing is over with. It's got so many people fearing and everything, and I think for the sake of other people, I'm not been one to wear a mask, but I think it's everybody, the people that you have to get. There are people are very fearful, and they want you to. They feel that everybody should have a mask on. So I guess I'm gonna go on and bite the bullet and go on and wear my mask. I read. In other words, because I'm not afraid, I can't help because other people are afraid, but I will respect them their fears and go ahead on and put me a mask on. At least if it ain't for nothing but at the time that I be with them and get out from around them, and then when I get to myself I do as I please. Because as of yet I have not worn a mask nowhere but to the doctor. And it was mandatory, you had to do it. And so but we're gonna do that. I just feel like it's just right. If people are afraid, and they're afraid to be around you, and that is evident. Because look at the people, all the social distancing. People don't want to touch each other. I think it's a work of the devil too. But we won't get into that on this video. But at any rate, y'all just be cool. Y'all be blessed, and then remember what I always say: whatever you get into, if God ain't in it, it's best that you come out of it, because it's gonna come to nothing. Until the next video, next Bible study, whichever comes first, this Mitty Man saying peace and good day.